Hey guys, I have a wine I need to bottle, and I thought maybe you guys would be interested in learning or seeing how I sanitize my bottles and place my wine in them. So today I've got some corks I need to put into them. I've never done corking before, and I need to sanitize my bottles. My bottles are the kits from Kegland, which are 12 wine bottles that come with labels and corks. So I'm sanitizing the corks, which I have done at the moment. Now I've done a video on the opening of that box already. So the corks, they're in sanitizer at the moment, just sealed in the container. They're ready to go. They've been in there for about 2 to 3 hours, so they're well and truly ready to go. Just normal standard sanitizer. And I now need to start rinsing these bottles because they're from factory. They're new and they're clean. All I have to do is sanitize them this time around. I also have a bottling tool, which I've never used before, and I figured that popping the cork in and having it just level with the top of the bottle is ideal. So I'll learn how to do that today, and let's get started. I have 15 litres of sanitizer sitting here. I have my new wine bottles, so I'm going to soak them in. I'm just going to drop them all in and just fill them up with sanitizer. That's all I have to do. And on the floor, I have an esky full of just nothing. There's no water in it or anything like that. I just have an esky ready to go. This is where I'll inject my beer wine into. So what I'm doing, all I'm doing is sanitizing my bottles. Making sure we've got proper sanitation in every bottle. We've got 24 bottles to fill. It's going to fill more. It normally fills 28 to 30 bottles. So I do have a couple of spare 2.5 litre bottles waiting as well for the job. Beautiful. Now I just found out the esky actually holds. These bottles are a little bit skinnier, which makes it so much better to fit in the esky perfectly. So what I'll do is I'll rinse all these out, put them in my esky, get them ready. All I'm doing is leaving them in there 30 seconds, swirling around inside and emptying them out. Now the sanitizer in it is very diluted, highly diluted, so it's not going to affect your wine at all. Once I've done these bottles, I'm going to get back to you and I'll get to the next part of injecting the wine into the bottles. So as a rule, you normally give the bottles a good clean with a cleaner, then rinse it with water and then sanitize them. These are bottles coming from a factory cleanse already, so we're just rinsing them out with sanitizer, which makes it a lot quicker and easier at the moment. Next time I'll have to do a lot more in-depth clean, but at the moment it's going to be great. So what I'll do is I'll let them sit for a little bit, let the sanitizer drift to the bottom, and I'll tip the excess out. And then I'll start my siphoning into the actual bottles. It's always a good idea to have your siphon above the line of your bottles. Gravity feeds the bottling wand. So if your bottles are level with the actual fermenter or secondary, you won't get any flow of wine at all. So you're best off having it below the siphon so that the gravity can feed your bottling wand. All right, I'm going to tip out all the excess sanitizer that are in these and start my bottling. First thing I need to do is sanitize my bottling wand and my siphon. So I have that 15 litres of sanitizer sitting here, so I'll use it. I use pretty thick cabling. It's good for, it helps to connect things easier. Just makes my job a little bit more easy. This stuff is pretty good. That's my sanitized wand, don't flicker. I'll just empty the excess sanitizer out. As usual, you just got to get rid of the crap. Alright, so this is sanitized, ready to go. You're recording, yes, and you are. What I've got to suggest to you guys is make sure that you tilt this a little bit to get the sediment to move forward a little bit on the actual bottle. Then we remove our sanitizer or airlock and slowly put it in our wine, trying not to stir up any of the sediment down the bottom. That's at the bottom. I'm trying to be really careful not to twist it, make it move. And now we need to take some wine out, but I need to start the pump. I need to start the siphon. So you don't need to go very high, probably that much, maybe a bit more. And it starts just like that. Just wanted to start that. So we now have wine in our siphon. So what I'll do is I'll show you how much I put in. Basically, air can get in. Wine actually likes a little bit of oxygen to help age. It's not like beer. And I'm going to fill that up until it comes out the top. It seems pretty clear. I'm going to try this later on, by the way. As you can see, it takes a little bit of time to fill the bottle. Now, this is going to be a bit dangerous. I'm going to make a bit of a mess, but just want to show you that I'm bringing the wine to the top. Once it hits the top, I'll pull the stick out. That's enough for the cork. So I'll do all these bottles, and then we'll start corking. Of course, I had to pour myself a glass. I ran out of bottles, but I did put it into a large bottle that I knew I'd run out and pour myself a fairly large glass of wine. It's cool, but I'll tell you what, when I tasted this, when I first put it in secondary, I was a bit worried. It tasted a bit too dry, and it tasted like it had fermented down a lot more than it should have. But tasting it now, the smell is awesome. You can smell the wood grain, you can smell the oak in there. And you can smell the grapes and everything. It's really fresh. Now, people are saying to me, you should try it from real grapes and do it from that. Now, I don't have access to that, so what are you going to do? These are awesome. They're a great alternative. And the wine smells great. I'll tell you what, it's not dry at all. It's actually got a sweetness to it. Very woody, not overly woody though. Very flavoursome, full of flavour. It's gorgeous. It's a beautiful wine. And I'm sure over time that'll age even better. Corked, locked up in a nice dark area, and it'll be spot on. Alright, so I'll just move this out of the way. That's for later on. And what I'm going to do now is I need to cork all these bottles. But they're going to kind of make a mess. Because they've got wine dripping out the bottom of them. So that's what this mat's for. I'm just going to do one at a time. I will dip these into the sanitizer before I put them in their bottles. Actually, I might dip them in now so it rinses them. And then one at a time, I'm going to do it, pop it, cork it. So where's my corks? Here are my corks. Can you see? Hope you can see. Yes, you can. These guys have been soaking in here for a few hours now, so they should be spot on. I've never used a corker before, so this is a first. So I'd say I've adjusted it nicely, hopefully. You guys probably can't see what I'm doing, but the cork goes in here, and there's like a little tapered lip here. I don't think it matters which way it goes. Drop it in, line it up with my bottle. Geez, I hope this works. And just push my cork in. So it didn't go in far enough, as you can tell. So I'll need to adjust the depth to the height of that, which is a fair bit, to be honest. So here we go. Let's see if that's enough. If that's enough, we're on a winner. So they've got two adjusters here, so that makes sense. Right. Let's see if this goes in too deep now. Ready? Oh, that's not moving. That didn't do jack, so what have I done wrong? Alright, so with a bit of adjustments and mucking around, I've been trying to get it to line up properly. Now these of course are all sanitised. This thing is not awesome. It works. I load her up, put the cork inside, and then I throw it onto the bottle, but I've got to push down on the bottle on the corker while I'm pulling down on the arms, which is a bit of a challenge, and that pushes in sometimes too far and sometimes not far enough, depending on how much I push or pressure I put on it. But the corks are in, that's all that matters. I just need to keep adjusting to allow it to peak, but I'll have to do 3 or 4 wine bottles, or 5 or 6, to get it right. So I'll keep trying. Like I said, I've got to push down at the same time. Oh, that one's good. So that's a little bit under, so I'll adjust that just a bit more, and I should be on a winner. The last thing I have to do is shrink this on. These are a heat shrink cap. I have to heat shrink these on. You know, it's crazy. I just went into my bathroom and I realised I have a hairdryer. I didn't know I had one. In all this time I've lived in this house, I've never known I had a hairdryer in my bathroom. That's something my wife would have put there. The camera might conk out, but that's alright. Just going to heat it up until it shrinks into place. I'm hoping that the hairdryer will be hot enough to do it. Oh, there we go. That was bugger. That was the first one. Yeah, it blew it up as I started, so that's fine. It's one. The rest of them I'm sure will look a bit better when I do it. Go from the top first and work my way down. Hey, they're not. I don't know. They're all like that. I'm going to do all these bottles, and once I'm done I'll put the labels on and I'll show you where I'll store them. Cheers, we'll see you soon. So I'm done putting the caps on. They look awesome, they look so professional, you know. I'm going to now pop some stickers on. They gave me some labels and I wrote on them with VineCo, Shiraz, 14/5/22, this is the date today, and it's 14.5%. I'm going to label each bottle so we know what's in them. So when someone grabs them and says, hey, what do you got in there? And I'll go, hang on, I'll grab the bottle and I'll read the label, which is absolutely awesome. It's something that makes it more interesting as a hobby. So I'll peel the label off. And I don't know, should I stick it here or here? I reckon there. And it just comes straight off. Okie dokie. Why does it come off? Because it's dirty. Well, not dirty, but it must have some sanitizer on it. It's weird, so I might have to spray these clean. I'll have to use some alcohol on it first to clean it. And then I can stick them on, I reckon. By the way, I am drinking this. It's quite tasty. It's not quite ready, but it bloody well may as well be. It's that good tasting. So I'll give this a quick clean of alcohol. And that should make a bit of a difference to sticking the label on. Now let's see. And I'll put it on the wrong spot. They're not sticking. This is a worry if they're not sticking. Because you want it to stick. Okay, now it is, I suppose. There you go. So the label's on. I'm hoping that stays on. It was really quite, I think it might be something to do with the air. It's a bit warmish, cold at the moment, and the environment in here might be a bit damp from the hairdryer. So I'll give these a wipe right around just so they're all ready, and I'll stick stickers all over them. Alright, I'll get this done and I'll show you the finishing results. Alright, tell me this doesn't look good. I mean, look at them, they look great. The labels are professional looking. I mean, they're not awesome, but you know, I had a bit of trouble getting them on because it's a little bit humid in here for some reason. Maybe because I've just used the hair dryer and it's a bit damp in here still from all the work I've been doing. They come out really good. I'm really happy with them. They're very professional looking. Best kit I've ever worked with. The wine is exceptional. It's beautiful. It's very tasty. It hasn't aged yet, but it has that, you know, new wine smell, but that's going to go after a few months. But the flavour is awesome. I'm really happy with it. Really good. This is a kit from Kegland. And I also bought the bottles from Kegland as well as the corks and everything came with the bottles with the labels. And the labels, you know, they're pretty crafty. They're kind of old fashioned. Just beware that if you have a humid area you're working in, they don't stick to the bottles until the humidity drops, or try and dry the bottles as you're trying to stick them on. But anyway, a kit well worth buying. Tastes really good. I'm going to store these in the boxes that they came in. Perfectly made for them. They got the little ridges and everything to hold the bottles apart. I'm going to leave them there maybe 6 months before I even think about trying them. So thank you guys, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, thanks for being part of this. I have Patreon. If you guys want to fund this and see if I can make more of this product, let me know, and we'll see you on the next one. Cheers.